What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? How is your guys' what is today? Thursday?
Yeah,
Thursday night going on, man. This week's already flying by. It's almost going to be Conference Sunday for the NFL playoffs, which is another thing that's flying by quick. Unfortunately, the one team that's not going to be in it, as we already know, is the Pittsburgh Steelers. And honestly, if we do see playoff football anytime in the upcoming seasons, I just don't know what to expect, or shall I say, I don't know if we can expect much, I suppose, advancement in the playoffs, just based on what the Steelers owner and President Art Rooney II said today in his comments, basing on Matt Canada and the
second half of the season, to which, in his own words, he finds it very encouraging for the Steelers when it comes to the 2023 NFL season coming up.
Yes, and we will talk about it, man. We are, of course, the SteelTwins. Thank you guys for joining us tonight on this Thursday night for a pretty much almost impromptu live stream, as we just decided to come up with this literally after he made those comments. So glad you guys are joining us. Otherwise, man, we're going to get into the discussion quick, but we're going to pitch out a couple things. First of all, if you're new, hit that like, hit that subscribe. Follow us on Twitter at SteelTwins. And definitely check out the memberships if you want to become a member of the STN or the STN Plus. The perks are down there. Just hit the join button next to the subscribe button. And, of course, man, we are going to be joined tonight by fellow co-founder of the Revived and the Rebirthed, SteelYinzers.com. Are you there? Code, are you there?
Yes, I am. I am here, man. I am live and ready to go.
Yeah, buddy, man. How you feeling tonight?
I'm feeling great, minus the fact that we were actually together today when this whole thing kind of came out.
Yeah.
And, after Rob read that to me, I was just like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
First of all, hopefully chat can hear me. I know with us working in this way, the audio's, we don't know how it's going to go. But, of course, I don't want to spoil anything, but that's going to be changing in the near future.
Yes, it is. We got a lot of great, crazy upgrades coming, which I suppose started last night with the new name change to the website, man. It was previously Steelers Country, but we transferred it back over to Steel Yinders just because of any possible trademarking issues that would go down the road. We don't want to bump shoulders with any of that. So we went back to the formerly known as Steel Yinders. Some of you guys may remember that from a couple years ago. We are rebirthing it. We are bringing it back. A podcast is coming. We can confidently and proudly and excitingly say that. A podcast is coming. And do you want to say the name, or do you want to hold off?
I think we'll hold off. We'll make chat suffer a little bit longer because it's not just the podcast. We have a lot of things over the horizon here. And I'm excited about it. You guys are excited about it. I hope chat's excited about it, specifically those that, follow both of our channels.
Yep.
Although, just, in case anyone missed it, I will be contributing to this channel a lot. And obviously, you guys will continue doing what you do best. I'm just going to be in the background mostly, contributing in different ways.
Yes, which
and the channel that I ran, the Cold Steel channel, for those who remember, that will literally just become a podcast channel.
Yes.
That's it.
Which will be the home of not just it's not going to be one sole home, but the main home for the video format of our podcast coming up, which I think is going to be coming up shortly after the Super Bowl. I can say that.
Yes.
So a lot of exciting stuff coming for us and the Steel Yinders name and the website and the brand. So a lot of exciting stuff. We got together today to talk about it. Glad that we can join together, partner together. A lot of exciting stuff is all we can say. However, I don't know if we can say that about this Steelers team. There are some exciting factors, yes, but not as a complete collective team. There's not, especially after Art Rooney II's comments today. Now, Cole, I want to get your I'm going to call you Cole just for reference.
Yeah, that's fine. We'll run with that. That's my nickname.
Yeah. Cole, back in, 2018, 2019,
2018 season, but I think the video came out, I could be wrong, but I think it was like January 2019.
Yeah. You made a video that was directed towards Art Rooney II, and at the time was based on a culture problem. Now, I want to say here right now, I think that the Steelers have a standard problem, but you, man, you've been at the forefront of this. So how How is your thoughts on Art Rooney's comments? We'll get into it and the exact words he said, but I want to get your first immediate thoughts on everything he said today.
It literally ties back into the 2019 thing. The only difference is back then when I made that video, it was more catered to the whole Antonio Brown locker room.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of the players just doing whatever they wanted in the locker room, and there was no structure to anything, and it really just seemed like an asylum.
Still kind of remains true a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, we don't really know everything in regards to this current roster, and there hasn't been as much noise like the past, but this really does go back to what you were just saying. The standard, I think all those things align together, honestly.
Yeah, they do.
They're almost all the same thing, and it really ties into Rooney at the very top of this pyramid. And I don't want it to come off like we're just completely bashing everything. I think people just don't understand. We want to see this team return back to the glory that they once had. And some of you are really confused by that. You think that we just want to continuously be angry about this team. It's just not true.
No.
It is what it is. And when you see comments like this from the top, Mr. Rooney, it makes me scratch my head. And like you said, going back to that 2019 video, nothing's really changed other than some of the faces in the background.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's really all it is.
And I can understand a little bit of his encouraging talk, because there are a couple things that are encouraging from the second half of that season, and it's barely a handful. The run game was nice. The progression of Kenny was nice. The defense fully healthy was pretty nice. I mean, stuff like that.
The issue is that, and this is just my opinion, I know not everyone's going to agree with it. You guys might not agree with it. I feel like in 2022, 23, and going forward, and even before that, because the league has changed. It's not like it just changed. It's been changed. The running game in today's football is supposed to be used to close out games.
Yes.
It's supposed to throw off the defense. It is not supposed to be the focal point of your offense.
No.
I'm sorry.
Back in the 70s with the Steel Curtain and Franco, yeah, that was a good way to run. That was traditional football. Those days are long gone now.
Yeah.
The run game is exactly how it's supposed to be used, like you said.
Yeah, the years of having Jerome Bettis run people over and, all those glory days, even go back to when Peterson, with the Vikings.
Yeah.
When he was making highlights left and right. Those days are sadly gone. The way the NFL is today, if you want to win games, you got to have a high-powered offense.
Yep,
the run game is supposed to support. It's not supposed to be your main thing, right?
Yep.
And honestly, the way this Matt Canada offense looks to me is a lot of it is just short passes.
Yes, it is. It is so college-orientated, man. There's no aggression. There's no pass attack. It's just...
I'll say this. You want me to give Matt Canada a chance? If for those who are just on that train, if you want me to change my tune, then they better draft the offensive line.
I couldn't agree more.
Because to me, the way this looks, it almost feels as if they're supplementing this offense because they know this offensive line is just not as good as they try to portray them to be.
Yeah.
And I'll admit, I myself, when I looked at the end of this season, I actually did think the offense improved. In some ways, some guys have.
Yeah.
Again, I like Daniels. Right? But we both, or the three of us, we all agree that left tackle position is sus. Right?
The whole left side in general is subpar.
It is bad. And honestly, if they want to run with the run game thing, I get it. A way to do that is fix the O-line, but in addition, that's going to improve the passing game as long as the coaching schemes it better, as long as it schemes it a little more aggressively, which I don't trust Canada to do so, but apparently Art Rooney does, man. We're going to get into the discussion a little bit here, man. We're just going to read a couple, I suppose, answers and quotes that Rooney himself said here. Pretty much he said after the 2-6 start to the season, where we obviously finished with a 7-2 record at the second half of the season, Art Rooney pretty much said, even though we fell short of making the playoffs this year, the second half of the season was encouraging. Obviously, we still have a lot of areas we need to improve on, but I like the way the team kept fighting down the stretch and kept ourselves alive. Yeah, I mean, some parts are encouraging, like I said, but not as a complete whole. And honestly, I'm just gonna get this out the way. yeah, they finished 7-2 down the stretch, right? They improved in points per game and stuff like that. The run game looked better. But we got to remember, we only faced 2 playoff teams down the stretch. 2, which were AFC North rivals, the Bengals and the Ravens, which we split with both of them throughout the season. But yeah, we only faced 2 playoff teams down the stretch. We only beat 3 total, 3 playoff teams all season. The other being the Bucs, and the Bucs were the worst playoff team this year. Let's be real.
Yeah.
Other than that, the rest of the competition was terrible. Honestly, on below level. That's why most of the teams have top 10 picks.
At least for the wins that we sustained. Every other loss was pretty much against playoff caliber teams like the Bills, the Eagles, even the Dolphins.
Yes.
And we saw how that performance was.
It's just it's such a weak way of going about this, to say, oh, we improved, and ignoring the fact that the quality of the teams were just not playoff caliber, let alone being in the playoffs.
No, not even a little bit, honestly.
I just don't know how, as fans, we can ignore that. Like, I continuously see that being ignored, and it's really weird to me.
Yeah.
It really is.
He even continued to say, I think you want to see a team improve over the course of the season. Start to finish, no matter what your record is, that's what you're shooting for, is to get better as the season goes on. And he said, and I thought we did that. Obviously, you'd rather not dig too deep a hole in the beginning of the season, which unfortunately we did. But the fact that we were breaking in new quarterbacks, in fact, 2 new quarterbacks, it was something that I think was a factor in at least some of the difficulties we had in the first half of the season, and even added that obviously the defense played no good part in that, and that was mostly due to the absence of TJ Watt.
Yes. And he's not wrong there. The defense definitely didn't help. Watt's absence was definitely felt throughout the first half of the season. Defense could not stop anybody whatsoever. The offense.
His statement there, I actually agree with most of everything he said. You want to see improvement from the team, but seeing improvement from the team and still not making the playoffs isn't okay with me. It's not. But from what he's saying and how it's sounded, it seems like that's where his complacency is. And that continues to go with Matt Canada. Because honestly, as you guys know, throughout the second half of the season, man, in the first 8 games, the Steelers only they averaged 15 points per game in the first 8 games. And they improved that to 20.9 per game over the final 9 outings, which is an upgrade, but essentially 21 points a game
is not going to win you football games or even get you to the playoffs.
Not in this day and age.
But according to Art Rooney II, those improvements were big enough reasons on why Matt Canada was retained.
Said, yeah, I think so. I think we'd like to see the improvement. And, with a rookie quarterback, they seem to work well together. They build a good working relationship.
And that's where the personal connections come into play over and over again. Not just with Mike Tomlin now, but with freaking Kenny Pickett, our rookie quarterback.
Loyalty.
He's already showing me that he has some wiggle room to control certain things. It's going to be very interesting in this draft.
It is, and obviously because of one particular name. But I want to say this right now. It's nothing against Kenny Pickett. I'm not a Kenny Pickett hater. I believe in Kenny Pickett.
No, but we invested in a lot prior to this.
But I'm going to say this right now. Kenny Pickett has earned nothing so far. Nothing. So he has no right to put any input in yet. I know he's a young quarterback, and he's the guy they want to go with. And getting his insight, I get that, but as of right now, he hasn't done anything to earn that pull yet, in my personal opinion. But yes, loyalty is a blessing and a curse, but especially a very bad curse for this organization. It has bit us in the ass the last 10+ years.
Yeah, it's been one of our biggest enemies lately.
He continued and said, and so to kind of sort of, that's a weird start to a sentence.
and so to kind of sort of start over again with the new offensive coordinator could wind up back in the same situation again, where the first half of the season you're breaking into new coordinator. So we just felt like there's enough there to build on that. We want to continue to keep that group together.
So he wants to keep Canada because he thinks him and Kenny have a good connection and they're going to improve on that, but also because he doesn't want to hurt Kenny's progression, because if he's going to have to learn a new coordinator, it's going to start all over again. I disagree with that entirely. I think that's what Kenny needs. That's what this team needs.
And that's something that the team should honestly take a big risk on, and it's something I think the team's afraid to do such a thing.
They are, and I don't understand the argument of you're going to hurt his progression. How do you know that? History shows that actually an improvement and a change in offensive coordinator is beneficial to a quarterback.
Yeah.
And beneficial to the offense.
Yeah, there was a study done. It actually showed 3 groups that were improvements, and there was like 2 groups that showed the opposite.
Actually, I think I still have that photo saved.
I was going to say, last time I checked, if my math's not, wrong here, I think 3's a little bit bigger than 2.
Yeah, in fact,
not by much, but,
I just popped it on the screen here. You guys can see that right there. There is a study that actually shows that, an OC change benefits a quarterback and an offense. I think that's what Kenny needs. I don't agree with that argument, that changing coordinators is going to hurt Kenny. I disagree entirely.
Yeah. I don't get it.
But that's the way he's going about
Actually,
it.
I think I missed one there because it says advantage. If you look at passer rating improved as well.
Yeah, it did. Yes, it did.
I missed that on the highlighter.
Yes.
But either way, all this stuff, all this data here is like some of these numbers are just so small that I wouldn't want to make the argument either way. I just feel like to say that, it's going to hurt him. It's alarmist to me.
Yeah.
You're being an alarmist, right? Those situations, you can't tell the future.
No.
You can point at certain teams and say, okay, well, Mayfield suffered. This person, man, that doesn't apply here.
Yeah.
Because we don't know. We don't know. It could hurt him. It can hurt him. We don't know. So why sit here and be so afraid of trying to get better? That's the part I don't get.
I don't get it either. But that is Canada's reason for keeping Matt Canada, because of the improvement we saw in the second half of the season and because of his connection with Kenny and the fact that he doesn't want to harm Kenny's progression. I say that's all fear to me, like Cole said perfectly. He even adds that the biggest improvement that we need to focus on in his eyes is we need to score more points. I couldn't agree more, because you see our red zone efficiency. We ranked 24th in the league in red zone touchdown percentage at 51.9%, which is actually down from 54% last year.
And how exactly are we supposed to score more if, we're running the ball and playing the control the clock game from, the first quarter?
Exactly.
But keeping Matt Canada.
So you want them to score
getting rid of Matt Canada could very well tarnish Kenny Pickett's development.
You want to score more points, but keep Matt Canada. I don't.
By the way, Byron's right in the chat.
Yeah.
And you guys, I said this today, didn't I?
Yeah.
The Steelers have the weapons.
They do. I'm going to say this right now, man. I think we can all agree. This team is playoff caliber. Playoff caliber. With Tomlin and company, we're gonna be in contention for the playoffs. But that's it. That's it. The last 3 times we've been in the playoffs, what have happened?
Yeah. And it seems that that's the one thing that the Steelers are going to want to hang their hat onto anyway and find that as a success.
That appears to be his current standard, because he finished it off about Mike Tomlin, said he did a good job of handling the team during the season. He said, I think the number one thing I always want to see in a team, and I think that it's up to the coach to make this happen, is get better as the season goes on. I mean, you should your best team at the end of the season. I think we did that, bringing a rookie quarterback along. There's no one way to do it right. I think we wind up with a rookie quarterback who got better as the season went on, and I think we're excited about the future because of that. So, I think those things are encouraging the way Mike Tomlin handled them. So the number one thing he wants to see, the number one thing that really is okay with him, is that we improve throughout the season. But it still didn't result in a playoff run.
No.
It did not. So he's not okay with making the playoffs?
He's not okay with trying to win a Super Bowl?
That's
not his number one thing. That's not his priority as a owner of a greatly established organization.
That's where we come in with the argument where the standard is lost. The Steelers have a standard problem. They are just okay with non-losing seasons, and if they're lucky, make the playoffs and going one and done, which has been the case for how many years now? That's the standard. And because we keep seeing the same episode pretty much every year, the same movie with different cast members, it just appears to me that I don't see any reason how we could be a Super Bowl bound team in future years with the same coaching staff we ran how many years now?
Yeah.
I just don't see it, man. That might just be me personally, but I don't see it.
I'm in that boat too, man.
Yeah,
I'm in that boat too. I'm not seeing the vision. I'm literally just like our offensive line. I don't see the vision. I don't see the vision, bro. I get that. Maybe I need to get to the bye week. I'm not seeing it.
Yeah, that's another thing. Kevin Dotson admitted that it took them till the bye week to understand Matt Canada's vision, quote unquote.
So it took him a year and a half. It took him a year and a half to be like, hey, I got it now. Like, what? And
only score 4 extra points or 5 extra points in the second half.
Yeah, that's not even equivalent to 1 full touchdown.
No.
Yeah, Blackjack says Rooney seems disinterested, and I don't know if I would say disinterested, but I would say he's not Dan. Dan was very involved in the actual football, and yeah, he had his things on the side that he did in the off seasons and during the year, and he wasn't always 100% just Steelers, right?
Yep.
But I feel like Dan was just more involved in the actual football operations, whereas, and I could be wrong, but it just seems to me like Art is more just concerned about the business aspects and lets the coaches and other staff do the football operations. And of course, he'll chime in at the end of the season like he did today.
Yeah.
But the stuff he said today, it doesn't align with what I remember. Like I would have loved if we saw a few changes already.
And
I would have loved for him to come out today and say, what happened this year is just not what we stand for.
Exactly.
It's unacceptable. Saying those things, you're not throwing Tomlin. You're just, you're being honest, and you have these discussions with him privately as well.
Exactly. I mean, I was actually hoping that I'd hear I'm disappointed we didn't make the playoffs. If he
at least say you're disappointed.
Yeah, I mean, and
maybe did he say that? I mean, maybe I missed it.
I didn't hear it, but even going back to what you said about the coaching and administration and everything, his interview with Missy Matthews on Steelers YouTube and Steelers.com and whatever.
Yeah.
He even added that he trusts Andy and Khan to run with their scouting and the way they're going to go about the offseason and the draft, and he might have some input, but yeah, it's mostly going to be the new guys in there that are going to make the full decisions, and he actually trusts those guys, which I don't blame him. I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
Truthfully, I am very excited for the offseason, what those guys can do. But yeah, it seems like he doesn't have much input, and he lets I don't want to say new guys, but he lets the new administration do most of the work, and he just sits back and does the business aspect, which is why he changed the Heinz Field name.
Yeah, it's a big reason why it's now Acrisure Stadium.
Yeah.
Never. Yeah, I mean, he said that deal, and we're not trying to get off topic, but it ties in with Art.
Yes.
And his whole thing with that was just we had to maximize our profits. And, once he said that, a lot of people, of course, bought into that.
Yeah.
And I understand, but I don't know. Maybe I don't know the numbers that was offered.
Yeah.
From all parties, right? That stuff doesn't really come out. So, but I'd have to imagine. I mean, was there no talks about keeping that for the fans?
There had to be. I mean, there had to be, but I'd imagine he went with the biggest offer possible. And
again, Byron's spitting in the chat right now. He just said if Canada is the answer for offensive coordinator, we have to build a defense to protect his faults, and that's the plan.
Yes,
that's the plan. They want to run an offense that short yardage, run the ball. Of course, not every game this season did they run the ball more than they passed. Right? Yeah. There was a couple games where they actually did pass a lot more than they ran it, but that is the philosophy. They want to run the ball first. That's what Rooney wanted, which we all know in the NFL, that's controlling the clock.
Yeah.
At least that's your attempt if you can get past third down. However, you're putting more pressure on your defense now. And if you get a few guys, and we saw this year, you get a TJ Watt injured, you're in trouble.
Yeah, which we saw. I mean, But with a strong passing attack, at least you know you can be a little more confident in scoring points at a rapid pace and actually getting yourself in a nice lead, which, I mean, no lead for the Steelers is nice, but at least you know with a strong passing game, at least you're more adequate to score more points.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's their plan, though. They want to, again, run the ball and have the defense give the offense the ball back as much as possible, which, I mean, a lot of people are probably saying, yeah, no shit. But that, to me, is just not what I see from teams that are making it to the playoffs and even making it to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Just not what I'm seeing from other offenses.
No, because seeing how we've operated and seeing how playoff teams operated, I mean, it's polar opposites.
Very.
It's quite disturbing. I'm not gonna lie. It's kind of jealous.
It's very upsetting, especially
and I don't see,
especially considering one of the teams is the Cincinnati Bengals.
Yeah, and I don't see how anyone in that organization watches the playoffs and doesn't think a change is necessary. But they're keeping literally everything from last year. There's not much change outside of a roster aspect. Nothing.
That's the only thing that the Steelers do year in and year out.
No coaching change, and Rooney even said...
Not just a coaching change, just a game plan change, a playbook change.
Right, but going with coaching, I mean, Rooney even said they might not be done with coaching changes, but he only said that because guys are continuing to be interviewed. So he's pretty much saying if guys get interviewed and they leave us, we're going to have to find guys to fill their spots. There's nothing in terms of changing someone from last year just because they suck. I mean,
yeah,
that's why they're keeping Canada, because they're just complacent, man.
But the only guy that's getting interviews is Brian Flores.
Yeah.
He just recently finished an interview with the Vikings about their vacant defensive coordinator job.
Yeah. So, I mean,
he's not even a part of the natural Steelers coaching staff. You know, he was brought in after he was fired.
Yeah, which is it was a good outside hire.
Yes, it was.
But
and I hope he stays. But with all these interviews coming, I think he leaves.
Yeah, I agree. I just don't see how Flores remains with the team. So, in conclusion, it's just Art's just he's not showing us that he's taking this team seriously, and it's just he's pretty much showing us that everything we've said the past couple of years, but even in the offseason, even just this past Sunday when we did the live stream talking about the whole Canada situation, it's just it's almost being proven right, to be real with you.
Yeah.
And that's shameful because we want to be nothing more than wrong. And maybe there is some optimism about the team, about Canada, but I personally can't see it. Unless he himself can scheme a better passing game and be more aggressive and get better in the red zone, man, I just can't see it. I have to see it to believe it physically.
But we haven't seen it. It's only gotten worse. Even when he had more youth and more mobility at the quarterback position, our red zone efficiency decreased.
Yep.
Our offensive rank decreased.
And I don't want to blame the rookie quarterback situation. I don't consider that an excuse.
No, because we literally tried to give him the benefit of the doubt. If he had a more mobile and younger quarterback, the offense could progressively get better. It got worse.
Yeah. But another reason why
I don't think that's fully on the quarterback.
Another reason why I don't want to go with the rookie quarterback excuse is because look at the Niners. They're going to the championship game with a 7th round rookie,
Mr. Irrelevant.
So yeah. I just don't understand the way they're going about this upcoming season, and I can't fathom.
Yeah, Sean, I just noticed Sean said Hines offered about a quarter of what Acrisure did.
Yeah, I figured.
I mean, money talks. So
big time.
Well, that's the thing about Art Rooney. I don't think he has an impact on the football aspect as far as the game goes. He's just more of a businessman, like Colton and Dan have said.
Yeah.
He definitely does not have that same impact as Dan did because Dan cared about the football team.
Well, he trusts the coaches and the guys in the office a little too much.
And then Kuda says Rooney had nothing to do with the field name change. You need to do your homework.
He had
what are you talking about?
He owns the team.
Yes, maybe he's referring to the fact that a shareholder recommended this to Rooney. In that case, you're right, but to say that he had nothing to do with that is weird to me.
He made the final decision. Yeah. He's the owner.
By the way, Nightfall with a $20 super chat says our biggest issue is the front office's stubbornness and tolerance for mediocrity, rather than trying to compete for a ring. Couldn't agree more, man. Appreciate the $20, by the way.
Yes, of course. And that's just what it comes down to it. That's the standard for the Steelers nowadays, and it's unfortunate.
Yeah, it is.
And Art does play a part in that because he's not going in there and telling these guys, what needs to be said.
Yeah.
He just finds these, small progressions on offense and thinks, that's enough for these guys to keep their job. When in reality, they didn't do a good enough job.
No, they didn't.
Because they didn't make the playoffs.
Exactly. But that's.
But even then, it's like that's their only saving grace. Like, that's a success of the season. When the only success in their mind should be a Lombardi Trophy.
Exactly. Couldn't agree more. Because that's what the Pittsburgh city's based on. That's what the Steelers are based on, man. That is their legacy.
Yeah.
And call us spoiled, call us this and that. That's just certain teams have a certain reputation. So excuse me for trying to continue to live up to that.
I guess, if I want to play devil's advocate here and push back on this, some people's thinking process is in regards to this season is, well, we did have a rookie, right?
Yeah. A
lot of the argument is that we didn't make the playoffs this year because we have a young team that is still growing.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's true.
if I'm being honest, they're right.
Yeah.
They're right. My issue, and I'm not going to speak for you two, I'll let you speak on, for yourselves here in a second.
Mm-hmm.
My issue specifically is I don't like what I'm seeing as far as continuing and building on that.
Yeah.
And I said this a million times, I don't believe in Canada.
No.
I don't. I hope I'm wrong. I hope this works.
Yes.
But right now, as of this moment in January 2023 and seeing what I've seen, I just don't see it.
I agree. And
so you're right. The team's young, right? The team is young, and that plays a part into why we probably missed the playoffs this season. However, if we're going to get better and get better and get back to what we used to be as far as being in the playoffs and being competitive, I need to see more changes here.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree.
Because if your plan is to run it back, man, I mean, we got lucky with the offensive line alone. That almost never happens where you have a line that doesn't get injured.
Yeah, really.
I'm terrified to envision what that would look like.
Oh, God, man.
I don't even want to know.
If we're running it back.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's just, I agree. And
that's the one thing that is definitely holding this team, this organization, and the players back. Because it's just going to be rinse and repeat as it has been for several years. Because they continue to do the same stuff. They continue to have the same play style, same mindset. And it's hurt us. I don't know how many times all three of us have to say it. It's hurt us. It's affected us.
I mean, there is a lot to be excited about this team because of the argument that it is so young. I just don't see how the administration or the ownership and the coaching specifically, the ownership and the coaching, I don't see how that combined can lead us to where we should be.
And I think it's only going to continue to set us back even more years.
Yes.
Like it already has been.
I don't believe in Canada either. Hope we're wrong. Hope he steps it up. It's all we wish for.
Yeah, of course.
It's all we wish for.
I think we need to involve a lot more, Pat. We need to stretch the field a little bit more.
Yes.
I do think some of the short yardage stuff is effective in some ways, but when you're constantly doing it, and we've heard this from, opponents, it becomes repetitive and predictive.
Yeah. Yes. Wade, even Kenny said it.
And that's why I mentioned, potentially bringing in Byron Leftwich as an assistant, veteran offensive assistant.
Senior assistant.
Senior assistant, kind of like, how we did with Brian Flores last year as a senior defensive assistant.
Yeah, he could work as a passing game coordinator.
Because Leftwich's best trait is obviously the passing game.
Right.
Yeah.
But the only issue is could those two minds collide? Because I'm not going to say this is actually him because I don't know. I don't know the guy personally. I've heard rumors in the past just based on where he's been and where he's been tossed around. Canada doesn't exactly play well with others.
No.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. I just don't like the direction they're going, but hope we're proven wrong.
Now, I don't think Leftwich joins as a senior defensive assistant because just before we got on live, I read that he's actually interviewing for the Ravens' vacant offensive coordinator spot.
The Ravens.
Yeah.
And if that plays out and we keep Canada and that doesn't play out, this is going to fall mostly, and I would say even solely, on Art Rooney II.
But this is the decision that he chose. This is what they wanted. Rooney, Tomlin, and company too. This is what they chose. They just got to hope. They got to pray that he does execute.
Yeah. Claude says they're in the playoffs if TJ didn't get hurt. Hashtag facts. They also don't make the playoffs if they didn't lose to the Jets, the Dolphins, and there was some other team.
The Patriots.
The Patriots. which, by the way, TJ didn't play either one of those games.
Yeah, the Jets one really hurt.
We gave up a 2-score lead to Zach Wilson. He did the gritty in our own end zone.
He caught a touchdown.
Remind me.
He caught a touchdown pass.
We make the playoffs. You're right. We make the playoffs if TJ didn't get hurt. I agree because TJ is that impactful. But even in games he didn't play, we still could have won. Like I said, the Jets, the Patriots, the Dolphins.
Yeah.
We win those 3 games.
All 3 of those games.
We don't ask for favors from Joe Flacco.
Hey, Byron, that was actually going to be an article I was going to put up on, now SteelTwins.com.
Yeah.
Bringing in Kenny's college coach from Pitt. Just because of the connection. I mean, if that's what you wanted to do, I thought that would be a plausible thing to actually do.
Yeah.
I see you guys messed up your camera there.
That's
why you need me in-house, huh?
Well, I also got heated from that discussion.
Spoiler.
We're working on it.
I also got heated from that discussion. I kicked the tripod. Excuse me, man.
By the way, I think we all agree on this because the thing is, too, we need to start recording ourselves. We have these discussions off stream. Like, it almost just insane, like, how much we talk about this team off stream. But, yeah, I want to be positive.
Yes, so do we. You think I like coming on here and saying, "Oh, the Steelers suck"? And
I think we all agree that we need to be more positive. We want to be more. We don't want to come on here every week and be negative.
No, and that's not going to be the case. That's not because throughout the offseason, I'm going to be incredibly optimistic about the roster. Believe me.
Well, you have to. It's a reset button almost.
Yeah,
sort of.
Yes, it is.
Well, maybe not this year because again, Rooney.
Yeah.
We're running it back, he says.
Well, all I'm going to say is this, okay? This is a playoff team, but not a Super Bowl team. This is a playoff-led coaching staff, but not a Super Bowl-led coaching staff. They're 2 completely different things.
I don't know. I don't know what to think.
Alex,
you guys know me, man. I want to be every offseason. I literally hit a reset.
Yeah.
But this one feels weird to me. Last year, I was optimistic as hell.
Yeah.
I was like looking at the, everything in the training camp really convinced me.
Yeah. So, hey, I thought Tomlin was going to keep us in contention for the playoffs, which he technically did.
Yeah, he did.
I thought we were going to be a little more competitive, but yeah, I was optimistic as well last year. This year, I mean, I'm optimistic from a roster standpoint. I just don't see Super Bowl.
I'm optimistic in the development.
Yeah.
Not from Canada, but from the players on the offense.
Yeah. If
Pickens.
If you wanted my early preview for 2023, I'm just excited to see what Kenny does in a second.
Yeah, I'm excited for the development of these younger guys on the team. I just can't trust specifically Matt Canada.
No. And we're stuck with him for the entire 23 season because he's not getting fired. Even if we are the lowest scoring offense in the league, like we were at one point this year, he's not going anywhere. So
he's gonna ride throughout the entire season.
For all we know, he might get extended after 2023. God forbid, knock on wood.
I don't know, man. I hope not.
We'll see, man.
We'll see how he does.
The season's going to be interesting for sure, but we have 8 months to wait. 8 long, tiring months. Yeah. We only got a couple months until we hit the free agency, which is a great talking point. We'll get into that in the coming weeks because, I mean, it's not too early, but I want to see what the Steelers do from a roster aspect, who they resign first before we get into, free agency.
Yeah.
Because there's obviously going to be some pay cuts. There's going to be some cap casualties. There's going to be resignings and this and that. So we'll see.
Yeah, there's a lot of moving parts ahead.
A lot.
At least I hope so.
I would anticipate
the biggest thing you guys can expect for us to be diving into, especially in the next few weeks, free agency, and specifically our own players.
Yeah.
Because I'm not expecting the team to make drastic moves in free agency. I think we're going to have to focus on a lot of our own.
Yeah.
At least from a cap aspect.
From a cap aspect, yes. But I do hope to make at least 1 or 2 splashes.
With the new
front office, maybe.
Yeah.
Khan's already showing you signs that, hey, this is different. So maybe. Well, time is going to tell for that. Byron says, I'm positive this offense is explosive and the defense should dominate anyone. That we have the talent to do that. There's no question we have the talent to do that.
Yeah, no doubt.
Especially with how young it is.
Yeah.
It's just, again, the coaching staff. Gorilla says, Steel Twins, what's up, fellas? What you think of this Jalen Ramsey talk? Come on.
It's a rumor. Apparently, the Steelers are going to see the availability for Jalen Ramsey. I honestly can't picture Jalen Ramsey a Steeler.
No.
I really can't. I'm not saying I don't want him, but I can't see him being
I'm not going to lie, man. I would be up to trading the 32nd pick for Ramsey because he is a definite upgrade, and him on these defense really helps the corner situation and the secondary. And we're going to need a number one corner at some point. But no, that's not happening.
At least I just don't see it happen.
I don't think most of these rumors that people keep talking about
they pop up every offseason.
Yeah.
It's a revolving door. Obviously, we'll entertain some of that stuff as well. I mean, it's the offseason. We really don't have much else to do.
Yeah.
But let's see. Alex D said, is Steelers going to be like how it was last time where there's weekly live streams? I'll try to break this down as quick as possible. Literally this channel, the Steel Twins channel, is going to be the main hub for video content.
Yeah.
The Steel Yinzers channel, the Cold Steel, is what you all mostly know. That channel is going to just become the place where we upload the podcasts that we're going to be starting.
Yeah.
The main focus, for me at least, is getting the website going. We have a website, SteelYinzers.com, previously known as SteelersCountry.com. We had to make a change because I found out there's some trademarking issues that could potentially come up, especially with some of the moves we're planning. You really like that dark mode, don't you?
Oh, yeah, look, light mode, dark mode, light mode, dark mode, light mode. And look, the gold even pops up when it goes in dark mode. And the cool thing is when you refresh it, it stays the same. It stays the same, man.
You are so obsessed with that. We will be relaunching the app as well on iPad, Apple, whatever, as well as Android. That's what I meant to say.
Yeah.
I don't know when that'll be, but it's coming. I just noticed too when you highlight stuff, it's gold. That's cool.
Yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah, you just showed it on the draft. Yeah.
No way! That's
you're marking out.
That must have been an accident on my part. I guess it works out.
That's badass, man.
Which, by the way, switching that site was interesting.
Yeah.
And easier than I thought I was going to spend all day doing it, but yeah, we're bringing it back. And speaking of, Danielle says excited for the podcasts. I guess I'll spoil this. Dan asked me if we could kind of hint to it. I don't want to get into too many details.
Do you have do you have the new logo?
The Steel Yinzer logo?
No.
Oh, okay, you're talking about the podcast.
Yes.
No.
Okay.
I guess honestly that's not where I was even going to go. I was going to go really like exclusive here.
Okay, I sidetracked you.
Because I had a meeting, I'm not going to say with who, but I had a meeting the other day on the behalf of the three of us, and it went very well. And let's just say, there might be potential other people involved. Wait, what? He just confused me. Yeah, there's going to be some things down the road as far as bringing other people into the fold potentially. But as of now, and this was Rob's creation, by the way, I have to give him credit. We're starting a podcast, and it's going to be called The Standard.
The Standard, man!
The Standard. It's a Steelers fan podcast, and it will be 3 episodes per week. Starting, I believe we agreed February 17th exactly.
Yes. And that 3 episodes a week is news to me.
Yeah, it's going to be 3 episodes a week. The only thing that you guys can expect is there might be certain episodes where the twins aren't available. It might just be me solo, or it might be a mix of the 3 of us, or it could be all 3 of us. We don't know yet, but because all of our schedules are going to be changing in the coming weeks and months. So, but it is the 3 of us. At least that's the plan. And those episodes obviously will be uploaded to the Steel Yinzer YouTube page, which was formerly my personal page.
Yes.
And in addition to that, they will also be uploaded to our website. So,
yes. And of course, audio files will be to any audio services, platforms you guys got.
Oh, and trust me, the audio portion is going to be a big focus because of the deal we were able to get.
Yes. A lot of exciting stuff coming. I'm excited for this.
I want to spill it, but it's like we're not ready to really.
No, because we still got a lot more to dive into before we even,
Yeah.
But, it's gonna be fun, man. And even the watch parties.
It's a big deal.
Even the watch parties this upcoming year is gonna be fucking really interesting. So
it's gonna be a lot of change, but a lot of good change.
Yep.
Oh, and you guys, I want to talk about that too because I'm sure a lot of people realized over time that my channel had a lot of quality to it. That's going to be coming to this channel, so I'm going to be taking over that. We're going to get new cameras, a whole new audio setup, new background, everything.
Yeah.
And I really want it to be focused on these two, the Steel Twins. I know a lot of you. Yeah, you guys like some of my takes, you like some of the guests, but this channel has to continue being these guys. And I think that should be the focus.
Well,
and, having guys contribute should be just that, contributing.
Well, yes, but, let's be honest, man. You've been a big contributor to this channel ever since we started as just the Bob Dan Welsh shit. So, I mean.
Yeah.
Oh, why'd you bring that up?
Jeremy says he loves the background. You can expect not a lot of things. Like the jerseys are still going to end up being there.
Yeah.
But we're going to be repainting stuff and
you can
adding to it.
And Mr. Dan Rooney, may he rest in peace, is remaining on this wall.
He's not going anywhere.
I almost want to get something that you got with the Chief. I want to get something like that for Dan.
Yeah, that custom. I don't know if people remember that on my wall. That thing's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's bad.
I got that from Heinz.
Yeah.
The Pro.
I should have bought myself one. It was cheap, man.
You should have. It was like $10, I think. Right?
It was.
It was so cheap.
It's a big freaking poster too.
It's like
it's actually signed. Not by the Chief. It's like numbered by the artist.
Yeah, it's awesome.
But yeah, that background, you're gonna get a wider shot when we actually get things upgraded. You're gonna get it's gonna look nice. I already have the vision.
And I can tell you, I could toast to that.
It's gonna look great, man.
With an Iron City.
Not a sponsor, but yeah.
It would be nice.
I do like my Iron City.
Maybe I'll reach out. That and Permanis.
That would be awesome.
Which, by the way, we tried the new Reuben sandwich and the Reuben loaded fries.
Fire, bro. Fire.
It's really good.
It is nice, man. You guys.
It is. It's really good. It's really good.
I totally recommend it.
Yeah, we technically celebrated today with all the cool stuff we got planned.
Yeah, we had to splurge ourselves a little bit.
A little bit, man. Let's see. Gorilla says, Cole, so you got to do the radio intro effect with it like on your show. That shit is fire as fuck.
I just noticed. Gorilla says, Cold Steel, you got to do the radio intro. We actually talked about that today. Bringing Yinzer back into the fold, maybe. So.
How's Yinzer been, man?
He's been all right. Last I checked, he was playing Call of Duty, showing up around there. So if you played Call of Duty recently, not recently, but in the last few months, you may have ran into him.
Yeah.
Yeah, who knows? We might bring him back for some of the live streams and some of the commercial stuff that we do.
Yeah.
Advertising and whatnot.
Why not?
Those were fun. Those were fun. I ain't gonna lie, those were fun times.
Yeah. Alex says 2024 draft is in Detroit, right across the border from me. Definitely gonna be going, man. Alex, hope you have a good time for that one. I don't know who's gonna be in the 2024 draft outside of maybe two players, but
not looking that far ahead.
No, not that far ahead.
I think the most recent one that was closest to us was Philly.
Yeah,
was it Philly?
Yeah, it was a couple years ago.
And then, of course, I think there was wasn't there one in Ohio?
Yeah.
Wasn't that last year, actually?
Might be right.
No, that was the year that we rented out that big hotel.
Yeah, last year was in Vegas, I think.
Yeah, you're right.
Last year was Vegas.
Yeah, that was the year where we had the big windows in Pittsburgh.
Yes. I remember that. That was when we drafted Najee and Pat and skipped on Creed and drafted Kendrick Green and Dan Moore. Two guys aren't even going to be starting next year.
Yeah. Or maybe.
Which, by the way, I don't know did we announce that we're going to be doing a live stream for the upcoming draft?
Oh, well, in case you guys didn't know, now you do. So, yeah.
I didn't know if you announced that or not. But
well, yes,
that's the plan. That's the plan.
That's going to be the plan, man. It's going to be fun. And
that's not no plan. That's permanent. Whether, it's happening on this channel.
And I really hope the Steelers don't piss me off that day. really hope Steelers don't piss me
Yeah.
off.
The only difference is this is the first year where we're not going to actually be in Pittsburgh for the draft.
No. For personal reasons, more so for cold side. For personal reasons, I don't think we're going to Pittsburgh for the draft, but we're still going to try to make it out to Pittsburgh at some point this year for possibly, obviously, training camp. So that should be fun. Maybe we get out to a game at some point later this year. But we're still going to do our yearly Pittsburgh trip. It's just going to be a little delayed.
That's we're definitely going to some training camp stuff. So if any of you guys are going to be out there this summer, you can expect to see us out there.
Yeah, because last year was a disaster. Alex knows all about that.
Last year was bad, man.
Alex knows all about that.
That was some bullshit.
Yeah.
Swear jar.
And it sucks too because being there, like where we were standing, was perfect.
I know.
I mean, man, that sucks.
It did, especially for the Friday night lights. We were excited for that.
The little bit of showers are coming. I'm like, oh, this ain't too bad. And then it started pouring down. I'm like, I'm still out here. I don't care.
I'm like, I'm already soaked.
And then they said, attention, people, or whatever. Go back to your
Attention, Steeler
vehicles.
fans. You got to go back to your vehicles. There is inclement weather in the area. I'm like, we're already soaked. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it was not fun.
I was just thinking too with the draft live streams. I don't know if we're gonna have any guests on this year or not.
I'm not sure.
We haven't actually thought about that. I saw somebody said something about the reactions and stuff. So
yeah.
Let's see. In addition to YouTube, will the podcast also be found on? Yeah, it'll be found on the Steel Yinzers website.
Yes.
You'll find it on Spotify, Apple, all that good stuff.
Let me ask you a question, Cole. Are we going to do the app thing like last time?
The what?
App. Mobile app.
Yeah, I actually mentioned that earlier. We're going to relaunch the app.
Well, we need one. We need one for, what was it again? Google Play and the App Store. Because I have an iPhone and I need the app. So.
Yeah, it'll be a little investment. Of course, we can talk about that maybe tomorrow or Saturday. I keep thinking today's Friday.
I wish. Because I'm not going to lie.
Saturday, we're getting together again for the Royal Rumble.
Yes, which I'm excited for, man.
Yeah, where Cody Rhodes is going to win it.
I don't know. Maybe Sami Zayn wins.
Cody or Sammy. Those are my two picks.
Well, I can't wait for it nonetheless. It's going to be a fun night.
Yeah.
Any names of free agency at guard that we should look for? I will mention one. I don't know if he's a proper left guard, but I wouldn't mind Nate Davis. I think he played for Tennessee.
Now here's another one, and he may be more of a pricey range here, but Ben Powers of Baltimore.
Oh, I like that.
Ben Powers. He's a projected free agent. I would like him to come in and fill that gap at guard.
I kind of like.
I don't know if Baltimore's going to want to. Then again, they extended Roquan. They got that problem with Lamar. How are they going to keep Ben Powers?
Here, I'm gonna throw an idea at you guys. I doubt the Steelers do it, but what if somehow in the draft they hit a center, like someone like a John Michael Schmitz, which would be a great pick. What if they hit John Michael Schmitz in the draft, put him at center, and move Mason Cole to guard?
See, I don't know about that because Mason was actually a solid starter.
He was at guard.
Center.
At center, he was.
Yeah, he's played guard.
So
he has experience there at guard.
So I don't see that happening. But with the Steelers' limited options as of now, is that a possibility?
It could be something they could be thinking about. I don't deny that.
I think we have to wait and see what they do in free agency in the draft.
Yeah, all this is just speculation until we see who they bring in and fill gaps.
And going on what Rob said, I mean, this is a guy who had one penalty all season.
Yeah.
He gave up 2 sacks, which, I mean, you're never going to be perfect.
No.
The big thing for me was the penalties for some of these issues that I had with like left tackle and guards. But as far as Cole goes, I mean, he allowed 4 hits, 21 pressures. That's solid.
Yeah.
That's not too bad.
Yeah, I'm not saying move him to guard because he sucks at center. I'm just throwing the idea away. But, yeah, Cole, I feel like has been a very nice acquisition.
Yeah, Cole and James Daniels, especially Daniels. Daniels had a little rough start, especially in preseason, but, boy, did he step up big time.
Yeah. The time in the game is a graphic the Twins need. That's something we might add as well.
Yeah, all that stuff's gonna. We're really far from that. The watch parties.
Yeah,
the watch parties are gonna be very different.
Yeah,
very different, and I'm speaking visually.
Yes,
and audibly. Like everything's gonna be upgraded. Everything's gonna be in my hands. The Twins are going to be able to focus on providing you guys entertainment and play-by-play. I'll be focused on controlling, the clocks, the graphics, all that other stuff.
But I don't anticipate you being silent the whole game.
No. I mean, we talked about that. There'll be moments where the camera will shift to my side. We're giving you guys like a peek behind the window here, but or curtain. Yeah, there'll be camera changes and stuff like that. That's all in the works for the upcoming streams, specifically the watch parties.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun for sure. I honestly can't wait till next season just based on that. Fin Nation says, I think you guys would be better off getting Anton Harrison or Andrew Voorhees than Schmitz. I really like Andrew Voorhees from USC. I really do.
Yeah.
Anton Harrison, I think his footwork's a little too slow to be a tackle, just from the small little sample I've seen of him. But yeah, I don't mind that idea at all.
No, not one bit.
Let's see. Haven't watched wrestling since 2002. That Attitude Era was the greatest era in all time. No doubt about that, Gorilla.
No, nothing's ever going to outbeat the Attitude Era.
I do think we see Austin in the Rumble, though. I do think we see Austin in the Rumble.
What about Dwayne Johnson? You think
you
think he's ring ready?
No. He's got a movie to do. One of 4. Good thing about this draft is there's a handful of corners that can go in the first, so there's going to be a good one at 32. Hoping for one of the top 3 left tackles at 17 and the corner at 32. I actually like that. I would really focus on line immediately. Definitely left tackle at 17. I'm not going to shy away from that.
As of right now, again, free agency completely could change our perspective.
But I'm still focused on left tackle at
17. Listen, I'm right there with you.
I don't mind a left guard at 32. Honestly, seeing what they do in free agency, 32 could be wide open for linebacker, corner, defensive tackle, guard, maybe even receiver.
Yeah.
32 could be wide open.
It's going to be
That's where you could go best player available.
It's going to be a really interesting offseason when it comes to Omar Khan and Andy Weil.
Yeah,
that is what I'm utmost excited for.
Yes.
It's their first offseason, taking over, making moves for the Steelers, and I anticipate a big one from both of them.
Yes, I do. I'm so excited for that. I feel like we are due for a first-round talent on the O-line. Dude, it's been since 2012.
David DeCastro, man.
And 2 years before that was Marquise Pouncey. Come on.
That's bizarre.
Come on, man.
It's been 10 years.
But no, let's rely on 3rd, 4th round guys like Kendrick Green and Dan Moore and Kevin Dotson and even Zach Banner from the Colts. Like,
we brought in Trey Turner to replace David DeCastro. He flunked.
God, man, like they have really neglected O-line for a long time now. Because they just stuck with mid-round talent and undependable depth. That's got to stop now.
Yeah.
Twin/Steel top 3 realistic players you want or think we get in the draft. Realistic.
Yeah, that's the key. Not who you want.
Yes.
Well, realistic. 1, Jordan Addison. I'm not a fan of it. But I do.
I was gonna say you sounded so depressed.
I do see it happening. I'm not a fan of it. I love the receiver. Nothing against Jordan Addison. I think the connection with Pickett and Addison, I'm sure, will be fantastic here. Depending on Matt Canada and his play scheme with the passing game. But Addison's a good player. I just don't think wide receiver at the moment is a need, but I see the Steelers making the move.
I just think he's going to be gone before the pick. And I don't say that because I don't want him. I truly think he's going to be taken before the pick. Now, free agency could very well change that, but there's a lot of wide receiver needy teams. But yeah, Jordan Addison's got to be in there. I think Peter Skoronski is a realistic pick, and I think he's the safest pick at 17. He could be a tackle or a guard at the next level. Either one works. And that dude can play.
And of course, PG's son.
I guess we can say Joey Porter. And those are the most popular names, but I do think those are all realistic.
Now, I could see Anton Harrison potentially being a realistic option. I could see maybe a cornerback, maybe a Cam Smith potentially if they want to go that route, or if a Christian Gonzalez somehow were to drop down there.
Or how about Devin Witherspoon, an Emmanuel Forbes?
Yeah.
I mean, there's guys out there. Corner stacked this year.
Yeah.
I'll throw a curveball in there. I could see them going linebacker.
Yeah.
Yeah, they could go Trent Simpson somehow if he were to be available. Drew Sanders, maybe.
Yeah, what you guys really like.
Noah Soul, potentially.
Noah Soul would be nice.
The bloodlines, man. The Steelers love that shit.
The bloodlines, yeah. You got that right. Yeah, there's a lot of guys, man. That's going to be determined by who the Steelers are very interested in, their pro days and all of that. That'll come with time. There's some hype around. Okay, yeah, because this has been irritating me because I keep seeing people talk about it, and I just don't agree with the idea because I don't think it's realistic. I think it's a false rumor, but also I just don't agree with it. There is some hype around bringing in Taylor Lewan from the Titans. I'd be cautiously optimistic about it. I think he's 31 years old. He has an history of PEDs and injuries. And he's just going to be, in my book, a 1-2 year rental, and you got to replace the position anyway. Yeah. So it's smart to bring it in.
And I want to bring back Trey Turner up right here because we thought the same thing about Trey Turner. He's a former, I think he's like a 5-time Pro Bowler. He was really good, but he was aging and injury prone. But, there was optimism that he could be, a fine, suitable replacement for the Castro, but he wasn't. He was horrible.
Is he an upgrade over Dan Moore? Yes, I think so. But there's too many red flags with him. And, again, we're going to have to replace the position anyway. So I'd rather just get someone in the draft and we can bank on him for 4 years, maybe even 5 with the 5th-round option.
By the way, Dan, I just sent you a DM on Twitter with the cover, the promo for the podcast. If you wanted to show them that.
Yes, I will now.
And I know I'm late as hell, but...
No, you're fine. This is on the fly, but you know what? So what? Let me get that going.
Gorilla says, you think the Bills will shoot to keep Edmonds, or are they letting him walk, you think?
Well,
it could go either way. I mean, he had a really good year with them, too. But they're gonna have issues with financial, like
they have Poyer to resign too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you gotta think Josh Allen's contract. I mean,
yeah, they don't have a lot of cap to run with.
No. So him coming to Pittsburgh is gonna depend on some things like who are we gonna keep? Are we gonna bring Edmonds back, his brother? Mm-hmm. Are we going to restructure some players? Hayward, for instance, is that going to happen?
Yeah.
Or about Miles Jack too?
Possibly Watt, possibly Deontay. I mean, we got wiggle room.
So they do those things, and if they are interested, because everything you see about Tremaine Edmonds has been speculation, including on our part.
Yeah.
But if they go linebacker, if they go for Tremaine, it does kind of make sense. And he is young.
He is very young. A lot of room to improve. He's very much like his brother.
I was going to say, if they don't go middle linebacker in free agency, I really think it's possible you could see them go linebacker in the top 3 picks.
Yeah, which I don't hate that decision at all.
Dan, can you not find the picture?
No, I cannot. Give me a minute.
It's because I can't find it either. You've been scrolling down like 5 times.
I probably saved it on the wrong tab.
I don't know.
Un minuto.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, you saved it from Twitter.
Oh, monkey nuggets.
It's one of that crap. Hold on.
Monkey nuggets. Hold on.
Oh, is it doing that thing where it's not a JPEG?
It's that damn file. You know what? Here, I'll just
do OBS thing. Just
give me a minute. Un minuto, folks.
Gorilla says, do you want to keep Miles Jack? I mean, we don't want to create more holes.
Yeah, that's.
I'll say that.
Yeah, I would keep Miles Jack for sure.
I would reduce his pay.
Only under a pay cut, yes.
I would reduce his pay.
And
because Jack, he had a very disappointing first year in the black and gold.
Yeah, he did. The linebacker play sucks. Rob wrote a great article on that on Steel Yingers, man. Definitely go check that out.
Yeah,
it's actually the current featured article.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I looked back at the multiple options the Steelers brought in to replace Ryan Shazier, to which obviously all have underperformed.
All have underperformed, man. I mean, we're talking John Bostic, who remembers him? Mark Barron, who remembers him? Devin Bush, we all want to forget that story. Avery Williamson, Joe Schobert. Don't forget, most of these guys we actually traded for. Miles Jack, I mean, God. And most of these guys have been 1-year rentals, bro. Half-year rentals.
Yeah.
Linebacker is a serious position we need to fix. That and D-line. And I hope they make some splashes in free agency for that, which opens the hole to fill up some of the offense.
Yeah.
So, yeah, definitely check out that article on Steel Yingers by Rob, man, for sure. And this is the promotion for The Standard. The Standard is the Standard. That is the podcast name. The Standard. A Steel Yinzers podcast.
Great design, by
a
the
fake
way,
fan
Cole.
podcast.
Yeah, and by the way, that is not the final.
No, it's not. It's just a teaser.
Yeah.
I'm
still working on some. I'm going to be adding more to that, and
yeah. Again, guys,
put that together real quick.
A lot of exciting stuff. No, Juju's not coming back. Okay, just he's gone.
Well,
he's gone, and he's probably never coming back.
My thing is, why would he want to leave Kansas City?
Why would he? He said that he's learned a lot more in Kansas City than he did in 5 years in Pittsburgh, and that's not a shot at us. It's just the truth. I don't hate Juju for saying that. I'm like, thank you for exposing the truth. I'm glad man, you know what? I'm betting $50 that he scores a touchdown this Sunday. Fuck Eli Apple.
How much? No, Eli Apple's talked so much shit. Like, holy crap. He's been talking so much. Like, bro, weren't you the one that kind of cost the Bengals the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
On defense?
I don't know what he was doing on the sideline doing this stupid shit. Like, bro, you suck.
Yeah, I mean, why would Juju leave Kansas City? I mean, he's essentially their number one outside of Travis Kelce.
Yeah.
But, I mean, Juju, he's a great option for Patrick Mahomes. He's still a dependable piece. Why would he want to leave? I see him extending with Kansas City. Why would Kansas City want to get rid of him?
Exactly, man. He almost had 1,000 yards. I mean, Juju's not, top tier number one.
No, I don't think he's
so dependable.
Yeah, I don't think he's a full-fledged number one, but, I mean, you can't deny the dependability Juju had.
No. And Kansas City adores that. Andy Reid adores that. Before we get on out of here, since this has been going on for a little over an hour now, final Super Bowl predictions, man. Since it's approaching, let's talk about the final Super Bowl predictions. Code, you can intervene if you feel like. I think we're getting an Andy Reid Super Bowl. I think it's going to be Chiefs, and I think it's going to be the Eagles.
You're confident in that?
A little bit.
You think Andy Reid faces his former team?
Yes, I think it's an Andy Reid-driven Super Bowl.
I'm sure the NFL script writers wrote that down at the start of the season. I am pretty sure. But I think Brock Purdy pulls it off.
It's hard for me to write him off.
He's undefeated as a starter. He hardly turns over the ball. The Niners are unstoppable.
There's been times where he's gotten lucky.
Yes, he has.
I think his luck's going to run out.
He definitely has. And Philadelphia is a team that definitely can get turnovers and capitalize on them. But
yeah.
I don't know.
See, that's the thing that gives them the edge. Is that defensive line is so stacked.
Yes, it is.
A rookie quarterback in an NFC championship game. It doesn't get any bigger than that, and then you have a defensive line like the Eagles coming at you. That's a lot.
I think that Niners-Eagles game is going to be the best game of Sunday because
I hope so, because the games we said last week were going to be the best games ended up being the worst.
Yeah, it's just it was kind of sucked to watch.
Although the Niners and Cowboys was a good old classic, back and forth.
Yeah, and I think that's what the Eagles and Niners are going to be, a little bit more offensively powered. But those defenses, like you guys said, are both incredibly stacked.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be fun, man.
By the way, I wanted to mention this. This is something that just popped up because we're talking about this whole predicting thing.
Yeah.
One thing Dan has done a lot this year was really getting into sports betting, and it's something I've been into in the past. We've had brief talks about it, and we're not 100% sure. I want to see what chat thinks. There's about 89 people watching. We thought about doing maybe some extra live streams on the channel, betting, getting involved in that, maybe having reactions to games and, money's on the line, that kind of thing, almost like a Barstool kind of thing.
Kind of.
It's just, something I'm throwing out there, but
I'm not opposed. I think that'd be fun.
Okay, well, you two would do it. I'm not a gambling person. I'm actually sticking with my money.
Oh, come on, man.
You gotta spend money to make money.
No. I'd rather
I won $100 2 weeks ago.
Okay,
man.
but I'd rather keep the money that I got instead of freaking risking losing even no.
But think about this, man. You bet 50 on Juju getting a touchdown. He gets a touchdown. You turn that 50 into an extra, however much it is, which is probably plus 210. So you're talking.
Come on, man. Did y'all not see what happened last weekend? A guy bet $5 and got $70,000.
Yes.
Yeah, because every first score was from a tight end.
He predicted that perfectly.
And Rob, you saw last year for the Bengals playoff game, I ended up winning $1,000.
Yeah.
No, that was the Kansas City Buffalo game.
Was it? I thought it was Bengals.
No, it was Kansas City.
It was a divisional playoff.
It was Kansas City versus Buffalo in that crazy finish that went in overtime.
Yeah, you were having a panic attack because Tyreek Hill scored that touchdown.
Yeah, he put, I forget how much it was. He put something pretty pricey on the game to go into overtime. And we're watching that crazy ending to that crazy game. He's like, Tyreek Hill, he's got the ball. He's like, yes, yes. And he's running to the end zone. No, no. And then Buffalo gets down there. Gabe Davis gets a touchdown. And he's like, I'm not winning anything. This game's not going to overtime. I'm like, it's Mahomes in Arrowhead. They have like, I forget how much time, man.
15 seconds or something.
2 plays, they get in field goal range. He turns his back. He's like, I can't watch this. So Harrison Butker kicks it into the uprights for the field goal games in overtime. He doesn't believe us. We're like, it's going to overtime. He doesn't believe us.
Dude, I couldn't believe it, man. I couldn't believe that.
That was some intense shit.
The only thing I regret about that was I didn't put more money down.
I know, but
because I would have won a good chunk of change.
You know what? Maybe we do that this weekend. Maybe we put some money on one of the games going to overtime.
Don't ask me for advice, okay? You guys do you. Don't get me involved.
Me and Dan will do the betting aspects.
Yes.
All right, fine.
You know what he bets on, I'll bet against him just to make it a little more fun.
Ooh, I like that idea.
Yeah.
Just don't ask me for advice.
Pittsburgh Rick with a $2 super chat says, do you guys think the Steelers will sign Leftwich? I don't think they will, but
you actually made an article or a video on that.
Yeah, we did.
And yeah, I think we did have an article before Canada was confirmed.
I think you uploaded that, about bringing him in. And,
the whole rumor that, the Steelers were interested in which ended up not being true, but
yeah, I think they should, but again, the two heads colliding, I don't know if that's going to work.
Again, Leftwich is getting interviews already for potential OC spot.
He might go to the Ravens. I mean, who else do the Ravens have to interview?
I don't even know.
So there you have that. We need a vet wide receiver to mold Pickens and teach Deontay how to catch. I agree, Donnie. I agree. Tony, I agree.
I think, honestly, for the wide receiver room, all we need is a veteran wide receiver, a veteran slot guy at that.
Yeah.
And there's some capable names heading into free agency. There's like a Jameson Crowder. There's a I know there were more. I don't know why.
Jarvis Landry, I doubt they bring him in. Randall Cobb, he's a dependent slot guy. I'm confident Ike Taylor is going to find us some gems, says KG Beats. I keep forgetting he's in the scout room.
Yes, he is. That's right, he is a scout.
We shall see. That should be interesting. But it's about 9:45, man. I think we're going to call it a night, call it a stream, guys. Appreciate every single last one of you for joining us on this somewhat impromptu live stream after Mr. Art Rooney II gave us his final comments in the final year-end meeting he had this year, which it doesn't sound encouraging, but we hope that the best comes of what decisions he makes. So that's all we can hope for, but we'll see. Otherwise, Cole, anything you want to say before we get on out of here?
Yeah, the only thing I can say is two things. One, definitely go over to steelyinzers.com. Unfortunately, today we didn't really get much news out like I was hoping because we had to make some changes, but it will be your source for Steelers news and original editorials regarding the team.
Yep.
And you can also follow us on Twitter at SteelYinzers, and that's a nice change. I think Danny agrees with me on that.
Yes.
Yeah, so follow us on Twitter at SteelYinzers. Right now, we have literally 13 followers, and it's pathetic. Help us reach 100 at least in the next month or so, and I'll be happy with that. But and obviously follow the Steel Twins on Twitter as well.
Yeah, at Steel Twins. Appreciate that, man. Yeah, as well as not just editorials and news, but of course draft talk.
Draft talk. Like I said, we will be getting into betting. I'll probably start doing next season, of course, because the year's about to be over. But I will be doing giving people my picks and stuff, and just talking about betting in general.
Yeah, just to make
as well as the podcast.
Just to make it a little more fun and add a little extra content. You going live for the games on Sunday? Probably not, but I'm not going to throw away the idea, Gorilla. I'm not going to throw it away, especially for the Bengals game. That might be fun. That might be fun, especially with bets on the line. That you know what? Now I'm thinking of something. We'll see. Otherwise,
we'll talk about it.
We're gonna call it a night. Appreciate all yins for joining us. On your way out, do us a favor, hit that like, hit that subscribe. Definitely go visit Steel Yinzers. Otherwise, Cole, appreciate you for joining us tonight. Great discussion, man, and can't wait for what the future holds, brother.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be great, man.
Yes, sir. Otherwise, have a great night. Have you guys a great weekend. And, of course, fuck the Bengals. Let's go, Chiefs.
And go Steelers.
Like, comment, subscribe. We'll see you later.
Peace! That was my line.
I don't care. It's mine it's mine today.
Good Steelers night.
That's not a thing.